Yeah.
I picked the topic drug abuse, and the song that I chose and went along with this topic is We Are on Drugs by Weezer. I focused my paper on drug use and a lot about the drug use and the problems that go along with it in high school. Drug use among teenagers in high school continues to be a problem in our society. I believe that in all high schools there is some degree of drug use among the students. Even though public schools usually get the bad newspaper press for having drug problems with their students, drug usage and drug-related problems can be found in all types of schools. Maybe the public schools will have the largest percentage because they normally have the largest number of students and the group of students that would most likely use drugs. But parochial and private schools have the same problems, but probably in lesser number because of the number of students. If you are a genius, an athlete, or both, the usage of drugs can affect your ability to study and perform in a sport. Drugs will alter how the person acts and how the person can perform every day. According to the government statistics, those teenagers surveyed in high school that have admitted to using alcohol and other drugs in the past 30 days were 48% using alcohol, 19.9% using marijuana, 4.6% using stimulants, and 2.3% using cocaine. The numbers go up when the survey looked at drug usage over the past year. According to the statistics, marijuana usage has increased since 1992. The bottom line is that drugs are still being used by high school students and can be easily acquired. No matter who you are in high school, sooner or later someone will offer you drugs or you will be around people using drugs. Athletes especially must be aware that any drug that they use or could be associated with other people using drugs can hurt their chances for playing beyond high school. Drugs will ruin a person's reputation because they will be associated with the drug crowd. Once people learn that a student or athlete has used drugs or has been caught using, they will have the reputation for a long time. People who will want to reward them will probably decide to pick someone else. An athlete has a lot to lose when it comes to their decision to use drugs. The athlete may think they are getting away with it in school or that their family does not know. However, sooner or later, they'll catch up with them and their career could be over. If an athlete wants to go on to a bigger school after graduation, those bigger schools have more stringent rules and the chances of getting caught increases. Now for my lyrics. First line could have a few different interpretations, just depending on who I've talked to and my research that I found. It says, when you're out with your friends in your new Mercedes-Benz and you're on drugs, one of the meanings that I feel is getting out of this is that you're out driving around in a really expensive car and that using drugs is kind of altering what you're thinking. You can't think straight, so you're under the influence, you're driving an expensive car. Or they could be using the Mercedes-Benz as an expensive car, and that could be representing your life, because your life is a very pricey thing. It says you show up late for school because you think you're really cool when you're on drugs. This is saying, you don't know what time it is. You're late for school. You get there before school even starts. You don't know because you're on drugs. You just lost sense of time. It says you put on your headphones and you step into the zone when you're on drugs. But the world don't care if you're not there because you're on drugs. Say, when you put on your headphones, he's relating that to drug use, that when you're using the drug, you kind of go into your own little world, just as if you were putting on headphones, you kind of trip into your own little world of music. So he's saying that you're just on your own, and that no one really cares that you're on drugs because they're too caught up in their own problems in their own life. And the chorus says, give it to me, we're all on drugs, yeah. Never getting enough, we're all on drugs, yeah. Give me some of that stuff. To summarize that up, he's saying that no matter when he can get his hands on drugs, he's going to use, and that any time of the day or anywhere he's willing to use, and that he can never get enough. And then one of the last lines says, When you twitch in your seat because you want to hit the street when you're on drugs, the substance is making you twitch. It's making your body do things you can't control. It says, cause such a fuss. There's no one you can trust when you're on drugs. Drugs make you pretty much lose trust in the close people in your lives, and even can make you lose trust in yourself. It says, the best of your days will vanish into the haze when you're on drugs. When you're on drugs, you really don't know when your best days are going to be there or when they're coming. They're just going to fly by without you even knowing. It says, you wish you could quit because you're really sick, but you're on drugs. It says, well, he's saying here that he's on drugs and it's too late in the game to quit because his body's already addicted. So he's already caught up. Then one of the last lines says, I'll go through the chorus a few more times. Then one of the last lines says, I want to reach a higher plane where things will never be the same. He's saying that he wants to use drugs and get to such a higher plane that he can't experience in life. The reason I chose this song is because I feel it says being on drugs does not really make you cool or special. It just really makes you look stupid, and no one really cares anyway. We are all hooked up on something, and people are too absorbed with their own life's issues and addictions to worry about yours. The significance in my life relating to this song, topic, and theme is that as a teenager, I've been around people with drugs and I've seen what it has done to their lives, which gives me the desire to never use or try. I realize that my life is way more important than being caught up in the drugs. As an athlete who plans on playing beyond high school, I'd much rather focus on sports and studies than using drugs.